Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to today's live Q&A. For those of you who are new to Manifest with Julia, my name is Julia. I'm a manifestation coach. And in today's video, I'm going to pick out a few questions that I got on Instagram and I'm going to answer them. And I received a lot of questions, so I'm probably not going to be able to cover all of them. But still, if you are live with me, then you can still ask a question. And I will find a balance between answering questions that I received up front and answering questions that I'm receiving during the live. Before I get started, I want to announce that on Sunday, which is the day after tomorrow, I'm going to host a live meditation practice. The topic of this week is Sexy Goddess. So if you want to reconnect and reawaken your goddess nature, then feel free to check out the description box below to join us on Sunday. Or if you're seeing this video and the 24th of July has already passed, then you can also look into my online shop, which is also in the description box below, and you will be able to find a recording to the Sunday meditation practice. And there are also other meditation practices that are recorded in my online shop, so feel free to check them out. You will also find one-on-one coaching with me in my online shop. And that's it with the introduction for today. Now I want to get into the questions, and I haven't actually read through all of them, so I'm just going to pick the first one that I resonate with and that I feel like I want to talk about right now. But again, if you have another questions that you want to ask, feel free to ask. All right, let's see what I got here. I opened them on my laptop because I'm recording with my phone. And let's see what I have here. Somebody asked, okay, that's a random question, but I'm gonna answer it very, very quickly. Can we manifest to be manifested back by our SP? So can we manifest to be manifested back by our SP? I think yes. I mean, you can manifest anything, so why wouldn't you be able to manifest that? I think it's not so difficult. You just kind of have to imagine that they know about manifesting and that they are manifesting you back. Or if they don't know about manifesting and you can't imagine them knowing about manifesting techniques, that they just consciously want to get you back. But I guess if you're asking that question, you want to be consciously manifested back. So yeah, just imagine them using manifesting techniques to manifest you back. Imagine them putting in the effort to really consciously manifest your relationship. That's totally possible, but for me, honestly, I wouldn't do that because it sounds a little bit complicated. I would only focus on like my specific person wants me, they want to be with me, they're thinking of me, they're reaching out. That's it. I wouldn't make it more complicated than that personally, but if that's a desire that you have and you want to put effort into manifesting that, why not? You can do it. Another question is how to believe that movement is happening all the time. So the easiest solution from my perspective is to start acknowledging your inner movement. I think when we are starting out on the manifestation journey, we usually think that we have to see outer signs. Am I doing it correctly? We're looking to see external validation, external signs that our manifestation is coming in. And honestly, I started to acknowledge my own progress internally much more. The more experience I gained with manifesting, it's much more fun, and it's also what is going to help you build momentum. So start acknowledging inner movement. Inner movement is when you're doing manifestation techniques or whatever you're doing to manifest, and then you start to feel like a different person and you start to experience new thoughts more frequently. You're getting into the wish fulfilled more easily. I could actually easily make an Instagram graphic out of this. Yes, you can ask questions here. Somebody asked if they can ask the questions. Of course, it's a live Q&A. You're supposed to ask questions. So yeah, I'll probably post about that on Instagram, like the different types of inner movement, because I feel if you know what types of inner movement there are, then it's going to be easier for you to spot. So as I said, it's easier for you to get into the state of the wish fulfilled, You're thinking new thoughts more frequently. You're thinking new thoughts more automatically, like they're just coming. You don't have to impose to think like that, but you're actually starting to think these new thoughts automatically. You're starting to feel like a new person. You're starting to experience yourself like a new person. All of this is a sign that inner movement is happening. And when you start to observe that inner movement is happening all the time, it's easy to believe that outer movement is happening as well. And also, honestly, the question here is how to believe that movement is happening all the time. I think it's also believed to think that movement is happening all the time. It's a belief that you can apply if it helps you, but you don't have to believe that movement is happening all the time. Honestly, that it's not a belief that I frequently think about. I don't even think about it at all. It's not a belief that I need personally. I don't have that belief. I also don't have the opposite belief. I don't need movement to happen all the time. Like, it's okay if it's happening sometimes into the right direction. Like, I don't care. It doesn't need to happen right in this moment. I'm fine if the movement happens in 5 minutes from now and then takes a break from happening and then happens in 15 minutes again. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't need movement all the time. Don't make it a hurdle. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't help you, like, just let it go and know that movement is going to happen at some point, has probably already happened, is probably happening every single day, but don't force yourself to believe that it's happening all the time. And what else can I say to this? Well, obviously, as reality is always moving and changing, I find it easy to believe that something is happening and shifting all the time, but don't overanalyze this. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter so much. Right, now let's get into the live questions. My friend actually recommended your channel to me. Do you know Joe? He said he knows you from school. From which school? So first of all, thank you to your friend for recommending my channel. I'm so happy to hear that. That's amazing. I really love when somebody is recommending my channel. It's very sweet. And now, like, Joe, I mean, Joe sounds to me like an English name, and I was in a German school. I'm not sure which Joe. Like, I wasn't at school with any Joe, not as far as I remember. But thank you to Joe. Hey, thank you for recommending my channel. Let's see. Darlene is asking, me and my ex are very connected to each other. I'm trying to manifest him back for I'm trying to manifest back for us to get back together. Okay. So you want for you to get back together? That's amazing. I mean, is there a question? I don't see a question there, so I'm gonna wait for your question. I'm not gonna guess. The content is really helpful, by the way. Thank you so much. All right. I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to go back to the questions that I received on here. Let me see, because I have a bunch of other questions. Okay, that's a good question. Somebody asked how to get over the fear of messing up my manifestation of SP. So this question, if you're afraid of messing up your specific person manifestation, it seems like you're very attached to it, and it sounds like you think that you need your SP, yeah, and you don't need your specific person. Like, you gotta start to see them as your reflection, instead of thinking that, oh my god, if I don't get this person, then I'm not gonna feel great in life, or my life is not, you know, as amazing as it could be. Your specific person is your reflection. And what I think is also a nice reminder, and I saw that on Instagram earlier, it just popped on my feed, is when you're manifesting your specific person, remember that you don't need them, they need you. Which I don't think, like, of course, this is also a belief, and you don't want them to ultimately need you. You don't want them to be anxiously attached to you. Obviously, you want a healthy relationship, But I love that sentence anyway, because it helps you shift your perspective from, wait a second, I don't need them. What if they actually want me as much as I want them? What if I'm loved back? Like, that's the mindset that you want to be entertaining. So really allow yourself to remember that you don't need them. If you feel like you need them, you probably got inner child work to do. Maybe you want to work on your trauma, on your attachment issues, because you want to feel whole and complete by yourself. And then manifesting your specific person is like a fun game to do, but it's not something that you should be like attached to. And you're getting over the fear of that being like that not working out by understanding who you really are. You're the creator of your reality, and that means if you are remembering that, hey, I know who I am, I know that I'm powerful. If you're connecting back to that spirit, then you're going to start to be less fearful, or going to start to be fearless. And also, you got to remember that if reality is infinite, which how could it be any other way, then how can I really mess up? Like, you literally got infinite possibilities to manifest your specific person. And as you're becoming more whole within yourself, that's what's going to be reflected back to you by your specific person as well. Let me think if there's anything else that I want to say about this. There was some thought. Yeah, that's the answer I want to give to that. I have more specific person videos, so go back to my channel if you want to see them, because I don't want to make this only about specific person on here. At least not if it's not a very specific question. Like, I have enough video on my channel. Okay. Let's see, I want to answer a question from someone that I didn't answer yet. Artemisa is asking, hi Julia, good vibes, thank you so much. Nice to see you, your content always helped me. I have a question. Should we focus in only on one thing? Did you also ask this question? I'm not sure. I think I have a question here as well like this. But anyway, I'm going to answer it. So thank you first of all. I love your comment. It's really so sweet to receive it. And I'm so happy that my content is helpful. Then let's get to your question. Should we focus in only on one thing to manifest? Or we could many, for example, to my SP loves me, or we could manifest my SP is obsessed with me, my SP always texts me. Honestly, these are all one manifestation. You're manifesting your specific person. That's how it sounds to me. Like, you don't need to like only manifest that they're texting you and not manifest that they love you. Like, that's one manifestation, right? Because the ultimate manifestation is not a text or one feeling. The ultimate manifestation is that you have a particular connection with them. Probably, I guess, you want to be in a relationship with them, or maybe not, but whatever type of connection you're creating with them, that's the end goal. So them missing you, them loving you, them reaching out to you, and them thinking of you is all one little aspect of your bigger manifestation. And of course you can do all of that. Now, if you realize that them texting you is something that makes you feel really, really great, you can hone in on that, but it's really one manifestation. I hope that helps. Darlene asks, how do I detach while manifesting? My ex, I can feel her emotions, energy, and if I detach from her, will this mess with my manifestation of getting back together? I don't see why it would mess with your manifestation. I don't think so, because remember, you want to detach from the current 3D so you can change it. So if you detach from her, like if you detach yourself from what's currently happening, then of course you can make space for something new to come in. But also, if you don't want to detach, then just start envisioning and start feeling that she is like having different feelings about you. Because currently it sounds like you're feeling or thinking that you're feeling what is currently happening in the 3D, and you want to shift into a creator mindset where you're creating a new reality where she wants you, loves you, misses you, wants you back. I don't know exactly what you're manifesting, but detaching doesn't have to I don't think that detaching messes with your manifestation. I suggest that you don't assume that either. Michael asks, if I want to manifest my specific person back, what should my mental process look like during the day? Should I be focusing on thinking thoughts from having them, such as I should bring us home, food after work? I think you can do that, but honestly, when I'm manifesting, my thoughts are a little more general, a little more like, you know, my specific person wants to be with me, my specific person reaches out to me, they're so in love with me. That would be something that I would be affirming throughout the day. But of course, if you are scripting out your ideal day with your specific person, or if you're scripting out or having an inner conversation with your specific person, you can become very, very specific. You can script something out like, I'm going to bring us home food after work, or I'm bringing us home food now, and we're going to have dinner together. But also when you're saying affirmations, you can say that. You actually just have to be aware of the state of being that it's evoking within you. And if it makes you feel close to your specific person, and if it makes you feel wanted and loved, and like your specific person is coming towards you, then it's a manifestation technique that you can use, or it's an inner conversation that you can use. If it doesn't feel great, then maybe try to shift things around a little bit. But honestly, it's your creation, it's your choice. You can do and apply techniques the way they work for you. Yeah, so you're making the rules. You're welcome, Artemisa. She said, thank you very much, Julia. And Darlene says, thank you, love watching all your videos. Thank you so much. It's so encouraging to read your comments. And Yuri asked, wait, I saw another question. How to get rid of limiting beliefs? So how I like to think of it is like a limiting belief can sometimes feel like it's set in stone as long as we're identified with it. And I like to imagine the belief melting away by me questioning it. So the more you're questioning it, contemplating it, reflecting on it, working with it, detaching from it, the more it's melting away. And you don't need to like push it away and get rid of it, but just to like create some space, become aware that it's a belief, stop identifying with it, and start to connect more with your body, your beingness, your presence. And then when you're detached enough and you've questioned the old belief enough, and you've also become aware of the emotion that this belief is like interacting with or interconnected with, then you can start to let it go. Because probably you have some attachment to your belief and it's mixed with an emotion. And when you start questioning the old identity, the old emotion, the old beliefs, you're going to create some space, and then you can start to introduce a new identity, a new belief that you want to attach new emotions to. And when you're doing that, that's when you're going to start to get rid of the old belief. That's how I'm doing it, and that's the very short summary. I hope that helps. But I'm also like, if limiting beliefs come up for me, I like to just tell myself it's okay if they come up, as long as I don't buy into them, they're just melting away. And that's also a technique that helps you not get hung up on limiting beliefs. Michael is asking or saying, okay, thank you for the great answer. I find inner conversations come most natural to me. I just wasn't too sure what they should look like. I sometimes daydream of us together and use memories of past. Yeah, so as long as you are feeling good and you're getting into the state of the wish fulfilled and you are starting to feel like the new version of yourself, you're doing a good job. Like, you don't need to be like overanalyzing it, but you want to make sure that you're thinking from the end, as you said, and not of the end. So you want to feel like the person who already is living in the wish fulfilled, who already has what it is that you desire. As long as you're moving in that direction, you're doing great. And as far as as it concerns inner conversations. You can go back a few videos on my YouTube channel and you'll find a video about inner conversations where I do a little practice, and you can do that practice and then you can find out how I suggest doing inner conversations. But again, you make the rules, and I have just a very short video about it. So there are millions of ways that you can do inner conversations, and they're all different ways are okay to do as long as they help you get into the state of the wish fulfilled. So to get an idea, watch my video, but again, you can make this practice something that you give your own flavor to. All right. Thank you for your questions and comments. I'm now going to take another question from here. Let's see. Oh. What question? What does it mean if my specific person keeps appearing in my dream frequently? It means that he or she or they are imprinted in your subconscious mind, and I need to find a different position because I'm not comfortable. Ouch. Yeah, it means that they're imprinted in your subconscious mind. And now, depending on what exactly you're dreaming, they're either positively or negatively imprinted. But yeah, if they're appearing in your dream, it means that, you've thought about them a lot. They're in your subconscious mind. Basically, they're important to you. Doesn't have to mean, but likely. Another question is, can I increase my height using law of assumption? That's an interesting one. I believe yes. I didn't increase my height using law of assumption because I'm not necessarily after that. I don't want to increase my height necessarily. But I have read success stories that talk about it, and I know people that are currently doing it, so I can tell you if they've done it. I can tell you afterwards if I have experienced it with someone in my reality. But generally, I think yes. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't be able to change your height. I think we think because it's something like biological that maybe it's not possible, but you can also change your genes. So, of course, I think that it's possible for you to change your height as well. Just keep affirming for it and start feeling like the version of yourself that is already a little taller. Or I assume that you want to be taller, like maybe you want to be smaller as well. Let's see. What happens when we are trying to manifest our specific person and there is a third person trying to manifest me? Do you realize how that all of that is happening in your imagination? All of that is happening in your imagination, like you imagining another third person manifesting you. That's something that you're imagining and therefore maybe even creating. So I would start to realize that reality is not that linear and limited as we think. And there are different ways of explaining it, and I don't want to go into it because it's very metaphysical and very deep, and I think to start to grasp it, you would need a very spiritual experience, which all of us had at some point, because we are maybe just conditioned to forget it, but we all had those kind of spiritual experiences. So if you want to understand the nature of your reality, I suggest that you start intending to have spiritual experiences that help you understand and have a deeper grasp of what reality is and how it's not linear, so that you can start to understand. Some people say there are different infinite dimensions, infinite realities. I think these are all ways of our logical mind to try and make sense of reality, when I don't want to say in fact, I think whatever you imagine reality to be, it kind of is, which sounds maybe even scary. But if I believe that there are different dimensions or multiple or infinite realities, then that's the way I imagine it to be. And if I believe that we're just all one, and this bubble of oneness or consciousness just forms itself to whatever we want, like, then you can think that. Or you can also believe, like some people I think believe that there's this one reality and you can manifest something into it, and you can manifest something in your reality and the other person manifests it in their reality, which is not my perspective because that still implies division. But I don't want to get too deep into that because it's super metaphysical. It's a conversation that you need to have face to face, I believe, or I could talk a whole video just about that, where I get more deeper questions about that from you. But to answer the question, like, just start to intend to have deeper experiences about the nature of reality, about the nature of consciousness. Start to understand that the linear image that you have in your mind about reality is not, like, it's just a projection of your current state of consciousness or your current state of mind. And then start to realize that, okay, well, that's just a thought that I keep thinking, that what if a third person is trying to manifest me and I'm manifesting my specific person? Like, that's still something that you are creating in your mind. I hope that helps. But I could talk for hours about this question and about the different possibilities to answer it, and about the different possibilities to explain why manifesting is possible and why reality is infinite. Right, I need to go back to the questions because I just lost them, but wait a second, I want to see the comments. Michael says, awesome, I will check out that video you mentioned. I have been studying states a lot recently. I feel focusing on states has been helping me understand a lot more, still figuring them out. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all learning. I think it's an infinite expansion, like, it's infinite, like you can always learn. And at the same time, well, actually there is also a state possible where you already know, I mean, the God state, where you already understand everything kind of, or you're in that state. But still, like, we're also still learning. All right, I need to get back to the questions. Where are they? Here. But yeah, actually, to complement what I just said, you can also connect to the state where you're already knowing the answers, where you already know. God state is basically the state where you know things into being. Like, that's why I also said that we are making the rules. It's not like manifesting is something that happens outside of you. Okay, that's deep. Manifesting is not something that happens outside of you. It's literally like you are creating the rules. And it's a bit different from, okay, I'm trying to find techniques that work for me, that I can apply the law of assumption. What if you are the creator of the law of assumption? You know, law of assumption is what you make it be. If you believe in law of attraction will work for you. If you believe in law of assumption will work for you. Because ultimately you are just finding a way to express your power and to express your creativity. So it's not even something external that you're figuring out, but actually you're just like strengthening your belief that you're the creator of your reality, if that makes sense. So my first ever conscious manifestation was a text. It took me 3 days to convince myself it was coming and was done, but I have had trouble getting back there with any other goal, so figuring it out. Yeah, persisting and saturating and really getting into the state of the wish fulfilled where you're feeling it, that's really helpful. Like saturating yourself and saturating without forcing yourself. Like, you want to find that sweet spot where it feels like flowy and fun to manifest while you're not getting distracted, but you keep on persisting. So you got to be relaxed and persistent at the same time. Just riding the wave, so to speak. How to struggle when I have contact with someone but not showing already the version desired. So this question doesn't make so much sense for me, but I'm going to try to understand what you mean. So you have contact with someone, but they're not showing up in the desired way. And I guess what to do in such a situation. So depending on how bad it is, like if you're getting really bad behavior, I would set a boundary, honestly. Like you don't need to like settle for bad treatment. But if it's just like not the best version of them and they're still conforming, then I would meet them. Like it depends, like either you want to be in contact with them and then you want to be like unconditionally loving and keep on seeing the best version of them while they are still conforming, or you want to set a boundary and then keep on manifesting them in your mind and keep on assuming that they're going to change. That's what I would do. All right, I think I answered all of the questions from this. Should you affirm that a third party isn't the one, or pretend they don't exist instead? Do whatever resonates with you. I think for me it would be more intuitive to think that my connection to my specific person is so deep, it's so profound, that of course it's meant to be, and the third party therefore was never meant to be with them in the long run. And everybody's realizing that, like even the third party realizes that they're meant to be with someone else. I meant to, like in your case, you're meant to be with your specific person. And all things resolved. The third party is finding the person that they're meant to be with, and you're finding your specific person and you're meant to be with them. That's how I would go about it. In that way, I feel like it's not creating damage. Also, if you pretended they don't exist, I don't know how that would show, but probably that they would fade away. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. Like, for me, I wouldn't go about it that way, I think. Although, if you're so focused on you being with your specific person, it's almost like, yeah, that can also be actually intuitive, and maybe I've unconsciously done that in the past, where you're so focused on you and your specific person being together that you forget about the third party. You can also do that. Like whatever you do, like have a loving approach to all people involved. From my perspective, that's the best. Michael, I remember I just kept saying thank you and feeling grateful for it and just jumping to it's done. In 3 days it came. For some reason, I haven't been able to do that with other goals. Well, what are your beliefs about why it didn't happen anymore? What are your beliefs about manifesting in general? Like, try to dig a little bit deeper about why it didn't happen again and find the limiting beliefs and start to really become conscious of them. And then you can start affirming beliefs that are kind of helping you bridge the gap from having limiting beliefs to having new, better beliefs. Like, you can find a belief that kind of helps you raise your energy a little bit more. For example, I don't believe manifesting is possible. You can find a little bit of a higher frequency belief, so to speak, if you're saying, I'm open to believing that manifesting is easy. You know, I'm open to believing, I'm ready to believe, I am opening myself to possibility, I want to believe that it's possible, I allow myself to believe that it's possible, like things like that help you kind of bridge the gap to fully believing that manifesting is possible. I think these are my limiting beliefs. My lack of financial success leads to feeling not worthy, and my girlfriend reflected that and left me. And I want her back, but still I don't have the finances I want. So that's your old belief system probably, but I don't see how that relates to manifesting a text message. I'm torn between how to proceed. Should I focus on my specific person and getting her back, or focus on finances first so I feel more secure and then focus on her? Do what works best for you. I can totally relate to wanting to focus on your financial situation so you feel more stable and secure within yourself, and then also you're feeling like a new version of yourself who also is successful in love and able to manifest your girlfriend back. Probably you want to do a little bit of both, but I would say that you gotta decide for yourself what you want to focus on now. I would definitely I would start to affirm that your girlfriend sees you as successful and wealthy, or definitely sees you as being on the path to wealth and financial success and stability, and hear her supporting you in that. Like, have inner conversations where she says that she's believing in you, that she wants to be there for you, that she wants to support you. You said it as a girlfriend, that she wants to support you, that she's there for you, that she's believing in you, and keep on affirming that. So you can work on both a little bit in parallel, but I can't tell you like what's the right thing for you to focus on. I personally, I know that it can feel very stabilizing to work on your financial and professional life, to feel stable in love as well. Like I could see in my past how not being fully stabilized in my business was leading to me being like more wobbly when it came to love as well, because like my love triggers would make me get into a more dysregulated state of being, and it was difficult to stay in my new self-concept also in my business. So for me, being stable in my business helps me be more stable in all other areas of life. So it's good to have some focus, but I don't say that this is the one solution for everybody. And that's why either you want to book a coaching call and we can talk about that in more depth, or you want to just like soul search for yourself and see what you want to focus on first, or if you want to work on them in parallel. I guess you want to work on both anyway, but maybe you want to work on one a little more. But you gotta know what that is. I could just help you with questions in the coaching session and reflect back to you what sounds to me like it's more helpful and resonant with you. But if you feel like you can do that for yourself, then simply look within and see which one is the path for you. I don't understand the question, cream pillars. Like, I don't exactly understand what kind of streaming do you mean. All right, I have a couple more questions here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's a question that I already answered. Artemisa, if you're still here, should we focus just on one manifestation, or could it be many at the same time? Yeah, I already answered that. You can focus on however many manifestations you want. For me, I experienced major breakthroughs once I picked a priority, and I still kept on manifesting other things as well. But I picked a priority and I experienced most success with my priority. And for me personally, once I fully manifested that manifestation and it's hardened into fact, I'll choose another priority. And for now, I keep on manifesting one thing mainly, and then I do the others every now and then. It depends on how much energy you have. Like, I had to be honest with myself at some point. I was like, do you manage to really go all in on two at the same time? And at that point where I picked one, I felt like it's going to be much, much easier for me to have success with one thing and then not be so hard on myself if not both things at the same time work out. But that's where I was. That's, as you can hear, it's definitely not the highest of highest states. So obviously you can work on both. And you can work on 2 or 3 things at the same time. Like, just be honest with yourself if it's really working for you. Because I could see, as I started to working on 2 manifestations, then when I would get wonky and wobbly, I was like, what do I do now? Like, now kind of everything feels like it's falling apart. Whereas like now I have a very, very clear focus, and even on my bad days, I keep that focus up. I can manage because I know what my priority is. And then I add in this other thing, that like the second priority, that is like not the first one. Every now and then when I feel ready, but I'm not hard on myself, I know I'm complete the way I am, and I don't need to rush. So yes, you can manifest multiple things at the same time. And yes, it is beneficial also to focus on one priority more, so you manifest it in, you feel successful, then you have energy to go to the next topic as well. So yeah, I would say manifest multiple things at the same time while knowing what your focus is. And then what I do, like sometimes when I'm like saturated in one topic, I go on to the other, or when I have more inspiration to work on the second one, I do that. But I keep my eyes on one ball, so to speak, that works for me. You gotta find out what works for you. I don't see the relation to manifesting, so I'm not gonna answer the question. I received a couple questions that I don't see any correlation with personal development or manifesting or healing. So if I don't see the correlation to that, I might not answer them. If you want to be more precise on what you actually want to know and how it's related to what I'm teaching here and what I'm talking about, I'll answer it. Or sometimes I'm answering sometimes personal questions if I feel like it, but sometimes I don't. So if you want to learn something, then make sure to let me understand what this question is really about. Okay, that's an interesting one that I think might be helpful for many people. I need to just check the time on my phone. Actually, I need to check my battery. Oh, yeah, I still have battery. All right, I was gone for a second, but I hope it's still working. Let me know if you can still hear me. So the question is, can seeing feathers and angel numbers be a sign of manifestation? So this is a very interesting question. If you believe that seeing angels and angel numbers and feathers is a sign of manifestation, then it kind of is. I heard a very interesting explanation about that once, and I don't remember where it was, but it resonated a lot with me. It's like, if you focus on the signs, you're going to keep on manifesting more signs. And it also explains why you see like signs of 111, 222, 333. Like, this has the meaning that you give it. So sometimes when I'm in alignment, I see a lot of these numbers, and at some point I became like very conscious of like, I'm seeing these numbers because on some level I feel validated by the numbers and I like them, but ultimately it's better to focus directly on the inner movement, on your actual manifestation. Like, if you want to manifest a specific person and you start feeling like it's actually happening, that's your actual movement. The signs are nice. Like, I like to see 1818, 1919, 2020. I like to see that. I see it as a validation for myself, honestly, because I keep seeing it often and stuff. But I'd say, like, keep on focusing back on your manifestation. Like, don't focus too much on stuff that is actually not really related. Like, keep your focus straight to the point. Help with hot and cold behavior from a specific person. I want commitment. All right. If you're in a desperate state of being, if you feel like you need the commitment, then what you gotta do is you gotta commit to your own self. You gotta commit to yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta start feeling whole with yourself. And I know that when we're in lack, we're so desperate for other people to come in and validate us, but that's not the solution. Other people are not the solution to your state of being. You gotta start to work on yourself, to heal your inner wounding, to heal your own conditioning, to start experiencing inspiration and love all within yourself. And then you can start manifesting your specific person, but don't make them the deciding factor. It's not your specific person that is going to give you fulfillment. You gotta understand that. Like, wake up. Wake up, they are not the answer to your problems. You gotta start to take control and to take responsibility of your state of being. And you do that, for example, with my emotional healing playlist, which, if I don't forget it, I'm gonna link it up here. And if it's not linked up here, just find it in my YouTube's playlist. There's an emotional healing playlist. Dig into those tools. If you don't want to do the work by yourself, check out the description box below. Book a DM coaching session with me. It's very affordable and you can actually have my support and I can help you work through this. But don't leave yourself hanging and thinking that your SP is the one taking all your problems away. Like, honestly, if you want commitment, you gotta commit to yourself, you gotta do your inner work, you gotta start feel whole and complete, and at some point you're not gonna want a commitment so much anymore, and it's naturally going to come in. Your SP is going to want to commit to you when you're feeling whole and healthy and complete and not desperate for their love. I know sometimes it can sound so difficult because when we're feeling abandoned, we want somebody to come in and save us. But I suggest, if currently this is not happening, then step in and be that person for yourself. Doesn't mean that other people don't love you, but obviously sometimes they're having their own things going on. And if you want to manifest a healthy life, then start being the person that is living a healthy life. Start healing yourself, start getting the support that you need. And then when you're committing to yourself and when you're not hot and cold on yourself, you're also going to have people mirror that back to you because you have different expectations, you have a different energy, you start attracting or assuming different behaviors in people. All right. Can I read old messages sent by Boo that were full of love to be in a state of fulfillment? Also, what voice notes from him? Sure, if it helps you to feel better, why not? I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, as long as it doesn't make you feel like you're longing for your specific person and you really miss them, and it's like getting you in a bad, like in a negative state of being, in a state of lack. You can do it, of course. If it helps you, go ahead. What should be the person's mind space while manifesting the specific person? Love. Self-love, healing yourself, self-compassion towards anything that is unpleasant, and self-love for every other part of you. Start to enjoy being the creator of your reality. Start being faithful to what you're manifesting. Start being compassionate when you're in resistance. And keep on doing the inner work. Keep on creating the life that you desire with lots of compassion, lots of love, and lots of self-expression. It should be like a state of abundance and vibrance, and like it should feel expansive. Like, it's okay if there are difficult days, and there will be probably, but it should feel, in the long run, it should feel expansive and like you're free and like you're becoming the creator of your reality. Somebody asked, it's also an interesting question, what if during the process I feel like I don't even want my specific person because I want so much better, but I bounce back to a specific person? Do you see that when you're talking about them, you deserving better, that you're still attached to the old version of them? Like, if you want to manifest your specific person and then you don't want it anymore because you think you deserve something better, that's actually not a bad step to make. But then you also want to start, if you really want to manifest them, you want to start thinking of them like they're now this new healed version that are treating me better. They are so kind, they're so loving, they are so compassionate, they totally realize that that I deserve better, and that's how they are treating me, and we are in an amazing, beautiful, loving relationship. Yeah, start to see them as this new version. Well, if you want to let them go, that's fine too. It's your decision. All right, let's see if I have some other questions here. All right, I'm gonna close the live soon because it's already 1 hour and I'm starting to be tired. But let's see if I have another question that I can answer here. And I think there are 2 more questions, but I think I'm gonna answer them on Instagram because I'm a little tired now. So thank you so much for being here. This was a lovely session. Thank you for your presence, for your questions. Don't forget that there's a Sexy Goddess meditation happening on Sunday. If you want to get your ticket, it's at its cheapest right now. So you can get it by clicking the link in the description box below, which I will put there after the live is over, or go to any other of my videos and go to the online shop and you will see the Sexy Goddess meditation there. You will get a recording included with the ticket that I will send to you after the event is over. So if you can't participate but you still want to get the meditation at the lowest price, then definitely get your ticket now. You don't have to attend in person, and it's not an on-camera event. Only I'm going to be on camera. And what else do I want to let you know? Yeah, the meditation practice is very amazing for you if it's difficult for you to maintain the state of the wish fulfilled by yourself, or if you just want to saturate your mind a little more by practicing with a community or with a recording. So make sure to check that out. And now thank you so much for being here, and it was such a nice session and I can't wait for the next live session. Bye bye, and hopefully see you in the next video or meditation.